Hey there, you beautiful badass. Welcome to the Keri Croft Show. I'm your host, Keri Croft, delivering you stories that get you pumped up and feeling like the unstoppable savage that you are. So grab your coffee, put on your game face, and let's do this thing, baby. Hello, friend.
Hello, friend.
Amy Nelson, my girl. I mean, look at you like a ray of sunshine.
Well, I'm living an outdoor life this summer with my four children. It's crazy.
What pool do you go to?
We go to Brookside.
Oh, okay. We're usually at Reed Road.
So my kids are competitive swimmers.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. All four of my girls swim for Brookside. 3 of them swim year round for UA Swim Club. And they like it. They're pretty good. Like it's fun to watch. I was a swimmer. Okay. So
how do we get anything done?
Okay. This is how I get things done. I wake up early every morning and get an hour and a half to 2 hours done of like deep work of the things I have to do. And like sometimes that's kind of all I'm getting done. Like it's just, I do things throughout the day. Like I'll have Zoom meetings like yesterday I taught a master class, but like it's a complete shit show. And the switching, the context switching all the time is killing me.
What was your master class?
My master class was on social media for business growth.
Oh, nice. Give us a little free soundbite.
So I will start with this. Like the mindset of it all is, I just was reminding everyone, like, you can just do things. Like, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be an expert. You can just fucking do things. And one of the things that you have to do, I think, to use social media to build your business, to build your audience, to tell people what you're good at, is show up consistently. I think that's more important than what you post. It's more important than editing a video. It's more important than a great hook. It's just doing it every day. And so how do you break it down into a system where you can make it happen every day? And so that was kind of the focus of the masterclass was, my people in the Riveter School have spent like a year or more with me, and we've talked about all of the things you need to do when you're posting on social media and like how to optimize your profile and all of that shit. But yesterday I was like, here's just a system to create 20 pieces of content, which is one for LinkedIn first, that you can optimize or you can repurpose for Instagram or TikTok or whatever, or X. But 20 pieces of content, here are the prompts, here's why we're doing it. It should take you an hour a week to write these posts. And then I want you to do this for 3 months and then just repost the same shit the second 3-month period, the second quarter, because you can always repost things, which nobody talks about.
It's like wearing the same, wearing an outfit more than once.
Right. Like you can, like we
not
do it. I wear this is like my summer uniform, this yellow dress, right?
I hate to tell you, I know you think everybody's watching every post that you post, but they're not.
Well, they're not. And not only that, but like the algorithm only serves your posts to like 3% of your followers. So, unless people are specifically going to your profile, they just simply won't see it. And also, like, even if they do see it, they're not going to remember whatever you said 3 months ago. And so, if I was a full-time content creator trying to monetize this, I might have different advice. But like, this is not what professional women are doing, right? Like, we're trying to tell the world what we're good at so we can help them.
Yeah.
And you need to do it quickly and efficiently so you can do it every day.
And that leads me to another thought. Have you seen some of the predictions around AI content? So they're saying, the smart people, they are predicting that like within the next couple of years, 90% of what you're scrolling and seeing is going to be all AI.
Yeah.
And so the point to that is that your life and your community and sort of this push towards live streaming is going to be so much more important. And so right now, if you're stuck in like this world where you're just on Instagram and you're kind of trying to build this business, like you really need to take a hard look and zoom out and figure out like, what is my real business strategy? Because Instagram and social media alone is not.
No.
It's on quicksand.
Yeah, completely. Also, you don't own it. There's that too, right? Like it could go away tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's not yours. And so, yeah, I do think that most content will be AI. I mean, taking a step back, talking about AI, like, I don't even know what the world's going to look like in 5 years, and no one does. That's the truth. Like, we are in uncharted territory. And with like how that impacts our businesses, people will buy you. essentially, right? Like the people are going to choose to work with you are going to do so because of your networks, because I think that human connections still will matter.
Oh, for sure.
They're going to choose to work with you because of the way you're putting things together, right? Like of all the pieces you're bringing together, your mix. So what is that, right? And so I think that is really what people need to focus on.
AI, there's so many cool, exciting things about it, and there's so many wild things about it that I take a step back and I look at like my grandparents or great grandparents where they were like, they're on the cusp of like not being Earthside anymore. And they're like, the world's gone crazy. And they're so tired. You're like, what the hell? Well, I could, that's going to be us if we don't kind of like adapt to it. And, the whole idea of AI, forget business, but just in relationships in general, you're already seeing couples. Have you seen this yet? So there are couples out there who are having marital problems because the one partner has gotten into a relationship with AI.
I mean, I believe it. It's really interesting. Like the number one use case of AI right now is as like a therapist.
Yeah.
And that is so sad.
It is, but then also like so we aren't used to it, right? So it's this whole foreign concept to us. But I was listening to Gary Vee talk about this, and for some reason he just has this like clairvoyant, wild way of predicting shit. And not that he knows everything, because he doesn't, but they were talking about how, his prediction hardcore, like he is bullish about the fact that like our kids, their children somebody's going to be marrying a chat. They will be in a full-fledged relationship with a chat, with a bot, like an AI. Okay. Which that's crazy. And like, I don't know how all that's going to go, but let's just say you did have this third party and it wasn't like you were cheating, but let's say you had like this always accessible mediator that could maybe, if you worked it the right way, show a perspective and be like, okay, Keri, well, Brady's thinking that. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, maybe, but then you're involving both parties in the relationship, right? And I don't think that's a negative. What I think is really sad is just like that we feel so alone.
Yes.
And disconnected from community, from family, from friendships, that like we're talking to a robot.
Right.
And that is heartbreaking.
It is.
Like, I mean, it really is. And like, it's like, how did we go from the childhood we had to this point in time?
And another thing on that front, because you're right, that is totally different than like if you're just using AI as maybe like a real-time mediator where you're like, okay, this is cheaper. We can we don't have to make an appointment. Like, let's see how this works.
That's a positive,
could
right?
be.
Like, could be.
Now, this other part where someone's like supplementing it with their romantic life, you also have to remember, like, they're going to tell you what you want to hear. Like, of course, the AI is going to be like, you're the best thing in the world. You're a man. Oh my God.
It's wild. I mean, you look at this, this is like a whole world to get into, and I haven't read a ton of it and I don't have sons. And not to say that pornography only impacts boys, but you read now that like the prevalence of pornography, which is the highest use case for the internet still today, right, has changed the way that young people look at sex and believe what sex should be. And it's just destroying things. Mm-hmm. And I wonder, like, what will AI do to layer on to that? Like, it's just, I don't know. And I feel like my oldest is almost 11 and I'm already in a battle against the screens. Oh. And I don't even know. And it's like, if I didn't work and I was just monitoring them or engaging with them all day, maybe I could win that battle, but I work. And so it's, it's a challenge. It's a real, like, I want to like throw everything in the trash and move to the ocean and a jungle where nothing exists.
No, really.
No, I really do. I mean, that's what I would prefer.
I mean, it's like we're constantly fighting that every day. Like, okay, if I could just shut my world down and just focus solely on these human beings, but like, I don't know what the answer is.
I'm in this like this mindset of like we are headed into this wild dystopian landscape, like between AI, between the disparity, between the fact that our government no longer functions. I don't know where this ends.
It is very scary.
It is, and it's just like, it's also, aside from being scary, like it's just stupid. Mm-hmm. Like this is what we've done to ourselves. Yeah. Like within 100 years of the Industrial Revolution, we fucked it up this badly, right? So that we're like, spiritually, if you look at the world, like all we have is the people that we love and what we do with it. What else is there?
Nothing.
And we're just taking ourselves further and further and further away from that.
Well, more on that. We'll now that everyone's depressed, we'll pivot. But it's all, I mean, I could talk for hours about AI and just how fascinating and how great it is in some respects and how scary it is in others.
I mean, and I would say, like, despite everything I said, like, in the world that we live in, where we still need to make money, you know, the gold standard, whatever, AI is everything. And you have to learn it, because otherwise you'll be left in the dust. Not choosing to learn how to use AI today is the same as not choosing to learn how to use the internet in the 1990s. It's stupid.
No, it really is.
Don't get left behind.
And I think, like so many things, people get really overwhelmed with it, like, oh, learning AI. And it's like, the advice I would give someone is, like, don't try to, like, look out into this vast pasture and be like, I have to be an expert on all things augmented intelligence. No. What industry are you in? Who are you serving? And then just go into that lane and figure out, like, what is relevant in terms of AI in my little sphere of influence, and then learn that.
Completely.
It's like, you don't have to be the next, no. It's just take it bit by bit. It's not that freaking, like,
I think on the one hand, some people are like, oh, AI, like, you can vibe code, you can make apps. Like, you don't need to do that. That is not what you need to be doing. If you want to, great. That's really cool. But I think to learn AI, to me, is to learn how to ask a really good question and see the power of what it can do for you.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think it gives us power as solopreneurs and small business owners that we didn't have.
Correct.
That only large companies had.
Yeah.
That's the big difference in business, right? Like, marketing analytics, right? Like, you used to have to hire a company and spend a whole lot of money to get all these marketing insights so that you could decide who to market your solo product to as a solopreneur. Well, now you can get that for free.
Yep.
And that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Right? Because that like puts power in the hands of us again and takes it away from the big corporations, which in this world is really hard to do. But, like, AI gives us that, and that's awesome.
Yeah. And, like, what I'm doing right now with the B Lab, I figured out a way, okay, who am I serving? What am I trying to accomplish? And how can I maximize the technology that's happening? And so what we're doing right now is we're in the beginning phases of, like, figuring out what is all this data that we want to collect on an entrepreneur, like, based on our product. And that whole, like, we're going to be spending weeks with a developer to figure out the way we want to communicate and what we want to extrapolate from you, which is going to be completely different than some typical, business consulting. I'm not worrying about AI in this whole I'm worrying about how I can do what I want to do and maximize that for people in this realm, right?
It's
and
amazing.
so I think when you put it into your own use case, it becomes way less overwhelming and more like, okay, cool, this is a tool. Let's get this shit done better than we could have ever done before.
I completely agree. And I also think, like, it can give access in all areas of society to people to boost us up. And I think that's really important. Like, you look at the law, medicine, right? Like, there's all sorts of things that are just going to open up that are remarkable.
Yeah.
It's someone said about AI, there's, like, there's one use case at end of AI where it creates a utopia because it gives us our time back and allows us to have these human relationships. And then there's the use case where we destroy ourselves. And, like, the best thing that you can do is, like, try to use it in the utopia way, right? Use it to save yourself time, use it to save time for people you love, use it to make people have more access to information around you, and just try that path.
Yeah. Okay, so on another note, Jeff Bezos. He's been top of mind. I've been seeing all your TikToks. You've been like, that wedding was like, what the hell?
Oh my God. So I was mentioning to Keri, like, I have what, like 250,000 followers on TikTok, 100,000 followers on Instagram. And even though I've built companies, a lot of my followers are there because of my family's legal battle with Jeff Bezos. And so I decided to use the week as, like, a pop-up content series. I was like, I'm just going to lean into the wedding. And I did have a little bit of fun with it because it was so over-the-top ridiculous. But I think the biggest takeaway for me watching it is, like, this billionaire class, they seek relevance. They see themselves as modern-day royalty, like the king and queen of capitalism or some shit. And they want us to worship them. And we are not in the same stratosphere to them. Like, they can do whatever they want. I mean, Lauren Bezos at the end of the wedding, I saw a picture. She pierced her press-on nail and wore a nail ring with diamonds. And I was like, this sums the whole thing up right here. You pierced your press-on nail with diamonds while people can't eat. And, this has always been the case, right? Like, we've always had the haves and the have-nots. But I think at this moment in time, like, it's so tone deaf. This wedding was so tone deaf. When you look at New York City and a straight-up socialist just won the mayoral primary in New York City. Like, in New York City, where Wall Street rises, a socialist won the Democratic mayoral primary because people are so pissed at the state of the world. And on the other hand, you have all of these billionaires out there seeking relevance. And it was very let them eat cake. The whole thing was let them eat cake. It was also, I will say, in like my snarky way, it was also tacky as hell. And
her dress.
I thought the dress was like...
I didn't love it.
I didn't love it, but I didn't think the dress was that... Although Dolce & Gabbana, I don't think was like a great, Like 5 years ago, the world was like canceling female founders for saying the wrong thing. And now we're like, it's okay, like to do, But I just thought like the show of wealth was tacky. I thought like, it's probably a terrible example, but if you look at like Kim and Kanye's wedding, which I thought in many ways Lauren and Jeff tried to emulate. Like Kim and Kanye's wedding was like a collision of forces, right? Of like reality TV and music. And it like they're tastemakers. They're tastemakers, right? Kim and Kanye are tastemakers in fashion and culture. Like whether you hate them or love them, like that's what they do. Yeah. It was what the people wanted, and they're tastemakers. Like Lauren and Jeff are not tastemakers, but they wanted to have a wedding that I believe that like felt like some cultural moment of like that people should like put in the books and remember. But it was just a bunch of rich people getting together. I also had this take about Venice. So like Kim and Kanye. Kim and Kanye got married in Florence because, as they told the world, they conceived their baby in Florence. And like that's cool. That's like there's a moment. It ties to them. I have no idea what Lauren and Jeff's connection to Venice is, but this is what I thought. If they'd held the wedding at one of their many homes, which are surrounded by tall trees, like the guests would have driven in cars with blacked out windows and no one would have seen them. If they had it at like a hotel, same thing, right? But by having it in Venice, the guests had to get on the water to get from place to place. They had to be seen. Like they wanted the world to see who was there. Mm-hmm. And then the second point, I was thinking about this last night, like there were a lot of really young women there. Like Sydney Sweeney, or like this other woman I don't know that was on like Dancing with the Stars or something, but she popped up, Brooke someone. And I'm like, what in the hell are these young women in their 20s doing at the wedding of a man in his 60s and a woman in her 50s? Isn't that weird?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the whole thing is beyond my understanding.
I
mean, strange. I just watched, I'm like, what the hell? $50 million for a wedding?
I will say that Jeff Bezos spent like double that going after my family. But I mean, it's like $50 million to spend on a wedding. Why? The whole thing is crazy. We live in such a crazy moment in time. It feels like a new Gilded Age, and the Gilded Age did not end well.
I wonder, did you say she blocked you?
She did. Lauren Sanchez blocked me on her wedding day, which is so funny because I have been commenting on her posts for years and no one's ever done anything. And I've always been like, it's kind of weird she didn't block me. I know a few people she blocked, like in the pop culture world. But like on the wedding day, she straight up blocked me.
That's kind of a compliment. She was thinking about you.
And she blocked a few other people too. And all of us have blue checks and like lots of followers. And it's kind of like, I think if you're just like a non-blue check person, they didn't get blocked. But with the blue checks, they blocked all of us who were critical of her wedding. And I just think it's, I'm really against blocking. So I block someone on social media if they go after my audience, my community, my audience, or if they say something like racist, anti-Semitic, you know what I mean? Like against a people in a community. But like if someone's mean to me, I don't block them because you can't block people in real life.
Right.
I can't be like block,
Yeah.
And like I teach my kids this too, like you have to deal with them. And it's just like, it's just this other, like, I think billionaires create this walled garden around themselves. And the billionaire class, because I've worked for a few billionaires, like, it's interesting to me, like the bootlickers of billionaires, the people who are jesters in the court and like live off the money and live off the influence they believe they have because they're close to a billionaire. Like they will just do anything to stay in the good graces of the church, the billionaire. and like make them feel good about themselves. And that's how billionaires start to lose touch with the world.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, and they become like, no one's ever going to tell Jeff Bezos the truth about anything because they want his money and his relevance and his influence. And that's really tragic. It doesn't have to be that way. Jeff made it that way for himself, right? Because you can be a normal, like Mackenzie Scott, right? She sends her kids to school. She donates billions of dollars to good causes.
Don't fuck with Amy Nelson, though, man. You'll be on her TikTok. I love that shit. All right. Well, this is always a joy. Always so much fun. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
And guys, if you ever have any questions you want to ask Amy, just send us a DM or send me an email, Keri@thekericroftshow.com. And if you're still out there following your girl, follow me on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. And until next time, keep moving.